Welcome to That's Good Broncos. I'm Brandon. I've been soft my whole life, Perna. And today I asked the question, how much blame does John Elway deserve for the Broncos' current struggles? And why do some of you fans think it's okay to talk shit directly to players on social media? Now, this doesn't apply to the majority of fans. I know how many of you are good people based on how you interact here with me and based on how many of you don't interact with me and just say nothing, which is the best route, in my opinion, unless it's a compliment. And I know so many of you love the team, this team, the Broncos, regardless of the results of a fucking game. But the disrespect I see from some fans on social media is sickening. It makes me fucking sick because I know how much the guys on the team put in to trying to win football games for our entertainment. You want to tell me C.J. Anderson wouldn't lay it all on the line for a win? This was from my friend Ryan Green's post on Twitter.
Didn't make the play.
Right.
You know, Vontaze made the play, I didn't. So, you know, somebody has to win, and I just won the winner on that play.
CJ, Mike McCoy came up to you in the locker room. What were his words to you?
Jeez, he's been saying I've been playing my ass off all year. Don't let that one play. You know, I didn't lose the game, but I hear Mike, but I'm not feeling that. I don't do that, then AJ don't score. Who knows how the outcome turns? And that's just on me, man. That shit hurts. That shit hurts. I put my heart and soul in this shit.
That's a man who cares way more about his job than most of us. You know what I do when I fuck up here? I blame somebody else, and I literally have nobody else to blame. It's just me here. But I will never accept responsibility for my mistakes. I just can't believe there are adults in this world who would take time to go to Twitter to talk shit to an athlete after a loss. Subtweet them and say something sarcastic the way I do. That's how you fucking do it. That's good, Broncos. This episode is sponsored by BetDSI.com. There's a link in the description, and if you use my code GOOD25, BetDSI is going to give you $25 free of charge to wager however you want. BetDSI is one of the best sports books out there. You can bet on any game, any sport, and I'm giving you $25 to try it for free to turn into more money, and then you cash out and you donate to my Patreon. That's my ultimate secret sneaky plan. Give you money to give to me. Genius marketing. Watch out Bill Gates. Watch out Elon Musk. Watch out Apple guy. I am coming for you all. I'm coming. Bottom line, I think John Elway deserves a lot of the blame for the team's current slide. I think the players and coaches also deserve blame. Elway also deserves credit for much of the success they had up to this point as well, as do many of the players. I mean, John Elway was right about Peyton Manning switching to Gary Kubiak when he did, bringing in Talib, Ware, Ward, Sanders, and even getting guys like DRC and Sean Phillips for a year, bringing in Jack Del Rio, but then moving on to Wade. But all the players and coaches that won deserve just as much credit. Football's not a one-man show, even though QBs are very important. I feel like we all need someone to blame, right? That's kind of how we deal with our own failures. We turn to football to escape the bullshit we deal with in real life, but when football turns into losing, letting us down, i.e. it becomes not entertaining, we channel our anger and direct it at players and coaches. So right now, I'm pointing my finger at John Elway because why not? Yeah, that makes me feel better. Ooh, yeah, oh, now I can go on with my day because I blamed somebody else for my anger. With a losing season, a bad losing season, we look at things like letting Wade Phillips go, letting TJ Ward go, letting Joe DeCamillis go, not finding a cohesive unit on the offensive line, moving up to draft Paxton Lynch, drafting Brock Osweiler instead of Russell Wilson, not hiring me. All mistakes that add up over time, mistakes that can be covered up by Peyton Manning, which is interesting to think about. If you have a Manning, you really can't make a mistake. If you don't have a Manning, pretty much everything you do is the wrong fucking decision, right? Life in the NFL is you are damned if you do, and you are damned if you don't. To the max. I understand how hard it is to hire the right coaches, to find the right QB, and to sustain success in the NFL. What I currently find troublesome about Elway is seemingly his inability to point the finger at himself. We've heard every coach say they fucked up. We've heard CJ Anderson blame himself, even when he looked like the best player on offense. He certainly blamed himself yesterday for his late game fumble, which when you look at that play wasn't even really CJ's fault. That's more of a tremendous play by Vontaze Burfict than a mistake by CJ. We've heard the defense say they can play better when the offense was killing them. We've heard Brock, we've heard Trevor say they need to be better, but Elway has yet to say, I need to be better, and instead say the team is getting a little soft. But would Elway saying he needs to get better make any fucking difference? Probably not. Anytime I say I need to get better at something, or I am to blame, inside I am thinking, really everyone else is the problem but me, and I think that's how most of us think. I believe a guy like CJ Anderson when he says he needs to be better, because he pours his soul into the game. I think almost all of the players do. But when coaches say that shit, I just feel like they're saying it because they know they are supposed to, when in reality they are thinking if everyone did exactly as I said, played better, we'd be fucking undefeated right now. That's what I think when coaches blame themselves. So maybe Elway saying the team is soft is a guy just being honest about believing he's not part of the problem. Personally, I know every job and relationship that didn't work out for me in my life was because of the other person or my bosses. Not my goddamn fault. Here's what I will say. That soft comment at the time seemed like no big deal to me. Maybe because you hope that players hear it and use it as motivation or some bullshit, but that comment has been divisive. And that's the last thing you need when your team is already trending in the wrong direction. You need a GM who unites his team at times like this, or stays the hell out of the way and allows the coaches and leaders of the team to do it. Great leaders are uniters, not dividers. And one of those things we hear, and we've heard quite a bit about, and I know just by saying his name is gonna make some of you crazy, Colin Kaepernick, is the distraction he would bring to the locker room, right? The distraction. To me, that's always like been this intangible sort of thing that comes with the player. If you want to talk about a distraction, a fair distraction, Elway's comment calling the team soft was one of the biggest distractions I've seen all season, because after the game yesterday, almost every player in that locker room was asked what they thought about that comment. And that led to players having to defend themselves on social media, and players kind of being forced to take a side, saying whether they believe the team is soft or whether they're saying, what the fuck, we're out there busting our asses, why the fuck would you call us soft? So I just think that whole concept of a player who, for whatever reason you believe, would be a locker room distraction is bullshit. Those distractions happen no matter what. You've got media, you've got people, they're every day trying to talk to every fucking player, every fucking coach. All that shit's a distraction. The way we cover sports is a 24-hour distraction. And if you're not winning, it's gonna be considered an issue, right? Or it's going to actually turn into an issue. Talking about distractions. I really understand why some of the players aren't going to just take that comment with a smile on their face. We've all had bosses that say something critical and it doesn't jive, as we're the ones out there doing the hard fucking work and it's easy for them to criticize us, right? So if you're a player like Brandon Marshall, who simply defended the notion that he and the team was soft, I agree, especially when Vic Lombardi reveals that Marshall has been playing with a torn rotator cuff. That's a hard motherfucker, in my opinion. Chris Harris said there's not a soft bone in his body. 100% correct, except for his left thumb bone, which is just a medical condition. Technicality, Chris, sorry. Demaryius Thomas retweeted Brandon Marshall's defense of the team, so now you have players who feel like their boss has thrown them under the bus. You have coaches getting fired, and you have idiots like me trying to solve problems I'm not capable of solving. I'm not going to completely rip Elway, but he is part of the problem, and what he has to do is realize the areas he's struggling and give up some of those responsibilities, just like he's asked Peyton Manning to do and Gary Kubiak to do, and the one time he called me and said, hey, can you find a different host for your show? That didn't sit well with me, buddy. Anyway, one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion, is to evaluate yourself fairly, especially when you are at the top. It takes a big ego to get to the top, to believe in your vision when nobody else will, but you have the fucking blind faith in yourself to keep doing everything in your power to get to the top. But at the top, weird things start to happen if you have nobody to keep you humble. I feel like Elway is losing credibility with the players. He has to fix that and deserves a chance to fix that. But will his ego allow that to happen? I have no clue. John Elway only needs to do one thing right over the next year. He needs to pull a Peyton Manning 2.0, which won't be as good as the original Manning OS, but could fix a lot of the current bugs. 2.0 is a vet QB or a drafted QB, which will require several OS updates before it works like a veteran QB OS. You can keep running through coaches, you can retool this offense over and over and over again, but until you have that guy, you are going to be 2 steps behind every team that has a top 15 quarterback. Problem is, in terms of veterans out there, I don't know if there are any real possibilities to land in Denver, especially after this season. Who the hell would want to come play in Denver right now? The Broncos organization, unlike when Peyton Manning was here, does not look like an appealing destination, especially if you have players who appear to be unhappy with John Elway. That may be the biggest fallout. Your best recruiter for free agents are your current players. We all know players talk to each other, and if you have guys who are unhappy within the organization, there's no way they are vouching for you when you bring in free agents. And Elway has to realize nobody is going to come here at a discount anymore or vouch for him unless he makes amends with the players or finds a QB who is exceptional, the kind of quarterback guys want to play with. That's the only way to fix the offense, and it's the only way to attract high caliber players at any position. In conclusion, soft or hard, there is no reason to wait until you get married to have sex. That's my conclusion. You can keep this channel alive on Patreon. Yes, your monthly donations are what keeps me going. And of course, we've got the big dick shout outs for Andrea Doherty and Brandon Eckert, upping his $5 donation to $10. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have some more free giveaways for my Patreon supporters later this month, after Thanksgiving. Probably shirts or whatever bullshit you want from the That's Good Sports store. So keep your eye on that. And I appreciate everybody who is doing their part and making me feel special. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Broncos. Subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Brandon Perna. Share this shit on Facebook. Gut check time. Reality check time. Self-evaluation time. Put up the mirror. Take a look in the mirror. Say, what can I make better? And no, it's not hair plugs. I'm talking about inner beauty.